Welcome to this amazing video. Man, I gotta sell that better. Welcome to this very cool video. Today we're gonna be learning about something called a library. Now, not the kind where you take out books. This is the kind where you take out code. Now, typically when you go to a library, you take out a book, and at some point you have to return it. But the good thing is you get to get that information. Same thing with code. You get to take out the code, but you get to keep it and use it and never return it. And it makes your life a lot better. So what a code library is basically it's just code that you can use that someone else wrote, so you don't have to do it yourself. So in the most basic sense is imagine that if I went to a site like Amazon and you see this beautiful Navbar and you say, wow, I wish I had a Navbar like that, but I don't want to, one thing in my cart, whatever. But I don't want to spend the time making that whole thing. It's going to be a real pain to like design a Navbar and do all this work. What if someone just already made the Navbar and I could customize it myself? That's what we're going to do. We can get code where people are giving us Navbars, cards, carousels, all the things you see on this page, and we can just grab them and customize it to our own page. And that is what professional coders do. No joke. So the library that we're going to be using is something called Bootstrap. Remember, there's like thousands of libraries out there, maybe millions. We're picking this one because Bootstrap is one of the most widely used HTML and CSS libraries that are out there for web design. So if you look here, let me just show you a little bit around this site. They have this thing called components, which is a lot of fun to play with. Before we were looking at that Amazon website, you remember there was a Navbar at the top, right? Navbar is this. They have a Navbar on the Bootstrap website. If you go to Navbar here, just like you were shopping, you can grab a Navbar. So if you look, I could scroll. Ooh, that's a good looking Navbar. I can grab that. They have buttons. Ooh, these are pretty buttons. I can grab those buttons. They have drop downs. Oh, I want to drop down for my website. That looks cool. I'm going to grab that. And it's all free of charge. You can grab whatever you want. So all of these things are here. I'm just telling you that every thing you could think of on the web, they have modals. Those are super fun. Those are like the pop-ups, like those pop-ups, that's a modal. You can grab that. So all of it's free, available to you, and you can take it and integrate it into your website. If you've been to my website, Jumbled, this uses Bootstrap. That's how I got my Navbar. I didn't start from the beginning. These are cards. So just so you know, this is something that everyone does and really makes coding a great-looking website much, much easier. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a website. I'm going to make my own website called Ben's Bike Shop, which is exactly what I'm going to do when I retire. And I'm going to open my own website. I'm going to open my own bike shop, and I need a website. So I'm going to show you how quickly you can make a somewhat professional-looking website using this library. So let's start from the beginning here. The first thing you have to do is go to Get Started, and you have to link in the libraries to your code. So I'm going to grab this. That's the link for the CSS from the styling. That's the code there. And then there's some JavaScript also associated with this website. So we're going to grab that and link it in here where it says add the JavaScript. Now, just to quickly tell you what you're doing is just like we have a style, that CSS file that has all our stylings, we're grabbing someone else's styles and bringing them into our website. So if you look here, what this is just a file, and it has tons of CSS in it, thousands of lines that we're getting from free. So if you're really zoomed in here, you'd see margins and all sorts like background and color, all types of things that you saw in CSS. Well, it's all here, and we're getting it for free, and we're adding it in. So we get all these free styles. It's really nice, free of charge. And the same thing goes for the JavaScript. We're just getting a ton of code that was now going to be integrated into our website. So now we can actually start using the components. So first thing I want a nice looking Navbar. So if I go here to Navbar, and you see I'm going to look, this one's good, a little bit too robust. You know what, I want something plain and simple like this. This is nice looking. So let's just grab that. Okay. So once again, this is the one with like the logo and just some words there. And I'm going to link that in here where it says add Navbar here. I just gave you places to put things to make your life easier. It's easy to get lost in this code when you're just copying and pasting. So there, I copied in my Navbar here. All right, let me go like this. And instead of saying Bootstrap, let's change that to Ben's. Ben's Bike Shop. Okay. And you'll see that there's an image for that logo right there. We don't have that image on ours, but what we're going to do is we'll replace this with a logo that I already downloaded. So if you see here, I downloaded all the files you'll need for this. It's logo.png. So if we press play now, take a look. We got ourselves a Navbar, baby. Check that out. Free of charge. That's simple. So I got my logo. I got this thing that says Ben's Bike Shop. You could mess around. You see how it's like a little smushed? You could, like, I can make this just a little bit bigger if I wanted to make it look a little nicer. Yeah, okay, that's minimal, but yeah, there we go. It looks nice. There we go. So now I got my own Navbar. Now, just so you know, you could add, you see these links right here? They're very easy to link in. I would just grab, like, I would grab this. You know, I'm not even going to do that. It's too much. But yes, I got my, you can figure out how to do that. So I got my Navbar. Now, the next thing I was telling you about is Carousel. Now, I want to show you, carousels are widely used on, like, retail websites because you see how you can kind of go around with this and just see what they're selling. So this is something that you'll see on a lot of websites. So there, I'm going around. It looks sleek, clean. If you go to Microsoft, you can see they all have these. And I'm just telling you, you'll see that websites have a lot of similar design. They have a Navbar. You got this, right? You got your carousel. And then you'll have your cards usually. Now, cards, just so you know, are like images with some text underneath it. But that's the general design. So I'm going to go back to Amazon. Same thing. Navbar, carousel, cards. So we need our carousel. Very simple. We're going to go over here to carousel. And you'll see there's a bunch. This is like the simple one that like auto slides itself. The second one, there's a button for. This third one, I kind of like this one the most because it has like this indicator about which picture you're on. And you have this one with like text on it as well if you want to like put some text on top of it. We're going to keep it simple though. I'm just going to do that second one you saw with the arrows. I'm going to copy the code here. And I'm just going to go over here to add carousel. And if you press play, you'll see nothing happens. You just get this broken image. And that's because if you look, I'm going to zoom in a little. This carousel, what it's going to show are these three images. All right, maybe I'll zoom out. It has these three images that don't have a source. That's what's being like flipped around. So we just got to add our sources, and we're going to be super lazy about this because I already downloaded the images. We'll do bike1.jpg, and we'll just take that, copy it, and let's just paste it in for each one of these. So I get my three images and change it to 2 and 3. So I'm just changing the sources. You'll see now. Check it out. Boom! Are we getting a professional looking website? Maybe. Maybe we are. All right. Now that I got my carousel and it's looking really nice, the next thing I want to do is add my cards in. So like I said, these are the cards. I'm going to go back to the Microsoft website. Remember, these are cards. Cards are very good for featuring products. Like you put an image and a little bit of description about them. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go to card, and I'm going to grab, let's see, this one, which is just image and text. So let's grab this. And what I'm going to do is just copy and paste it 3 times. So you see where it says add cards here? I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. So 3 cards, right? Because I have basically, you know, I just want to show different types of products. So once again, if you want to look at what that looks like right now, it doesn't look great, right? It has these broken images and they're one on top of each other. So let's customize these a little by adding an image source and customizing the text for each one. So the first one here, the source is going to be electric card. So electric card.jpg. All right. And let's just say some basic stuff like we have modern electric bikes. Okay, great. The next one's going to be mountain. Sorry, that's how I spell by saying it slowly. .jpg. And if I go here, check it out. I'm just going to say, we check out our mountain bikes for your next adventure. Perfect. And then our third one is road card. Road card.jpg. And we'll say we've got the sleekest road bikes on the market. Okay. Not marker, market. All right, let's see how this looks now that we've customized it. All right, not bad. You see they're one on top of another. We got our electric bike, we got our mountain bike, and we got our road bike. But the problem is, you might be saying to yourself, is they're one on top of each other. That doesn't look very good, right? It doesn't. So what we'll need to do is put them into a grid with 3 columns. You thought of it. Which is very simple to do if you know how to do grid. Which is just, we're going to put these inside of a wrapper. So I'm going to say div id equals, and you can call this whatever you want. I'll just say like, I could say cards. Okay? All right, let's call them bike cards. So bike cards wrapper. Okay, call this whatever I want. That just makes sense to me. And at the very end here, after the 3 cards, we got to close our div, so don't forget to do that. And so now they're in their like container box, right? So now what we're going to do is just create the grid. So I'm going to say bike card container. I hope I spelled everything right. Most likely I did not. Bike cards wrapper. See? It was telling me, it's like, I think you're crazy. You didn't even write that in your... Now do you like it? Let's see what... I'm kind of interested what this error message is. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to make sure that I got it right by copying and pasting it. Let's just go... Boom. All right. There's no error. All right. It's very simple. We just say display grid. Remember? We're going to say grid template columns. We want 3. So it's just 1 FR 3 times. And let's take a look at how it looks. Very nice. We are getting there. Now, it's not perfect. I don't love how they're all kind of to the left. So we could fix that up a little bit. So very simple to do. If you look at these cards, you'll see they have this thing that says style with 18 rem. Not to get too into rems, but like rems are relative... I don't know what the M part of it is. But it's about 12 pixels, so it's saying 18 pixels. So anyway, it's setting the width of each card to a certain amount. If we want the card to fill up the entire column, we just have to take that off, because this is limiting the size of it. And if I take that off of each one, let's take a look here. Much nicer, right? Okay, we're getting into it. I see you getting into it. And what we're going to do is, you'll see here, like, it needs a grid gap, right? I don't like that. There's no grid gap there. So why don't we add a little bit of a grid gap? I'm going to say grid gap. Let's do 40 pixels. Let's do 50. Let's give it a good amount of gap. 50 pixels. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then you'll see that it needs some margin. So like there needs to be margin up here. So what I would do is this. Like I want to get space off. Like, you know, there's just like no space between the two. It's too close together. What you do is something that's like this. You say margin top, 50 pixels. It could be anything. I'm just saying 50. You see how that gives it some space. Also, usually people have space on the sides as well, so let's just do that as well. Margin left, 50 pixels. Margin right, 50 pixels. Let's see how that looks. There we go. That looks better. All right. Now I'm really liking this website. So I got my elements, I got my carousel, I've got this where it says Ben's Bike Shop, so Navbar, a beautiful carousel, and these cards. All very professional looking and very easy to do. Now, my video is going to cut off in a minute, but I do just want to add a few just like kind of nice touches. Like first of all, I don't like the border on this card. So what you could do is to make it look a little nicer, I don't like the borders there. You'll see that these cards have a class of card. So what I could just go is over here. I could say dot card and just say this border none. And if you look back here, that was unimpressive. Come on, you worked before. There you go. Yeah, it just took a second to load. And maybe I want that text centered a little bit. So let's just say this text align center. And let's see how that looks. All right. So what I'm trying to say is you could also customize these elements. If you look up like their, the navbar, you want to give a different background color, just look at their classes or IDs, and then you can make your own customizations as well to make the website look even more like you want it. All right, that's our bike web page. Good luck on your Microsoft lab. Peace.